All right, it's Mike, and you're listening to Open Mic Radio, 9 o'clock on Friday mornings, and we're going to get things started here with a piece of music. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Take this time to lend a word to change your mind and crush the myth that let you out. How does this funky music feel? Lion-hearted thunder bass, spicy brass, soul to taste. Yeah, we raise the roar that will reveal. The edge on which we make a stand, the edge, the place we make our state. Through music we will all create a common trust, a common band. Yeah, the music makes us all as one. The union is our common ground. The truth is in this funky sound. Yeah!
There you go, people. That's the way to get things going on a Friday morning. That's Spankin' Rufus wake you up this Friday. It's Mike. You're listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia. We do this every Friday morning. Come on the air and play some good music for you and talk to some of the area's musicians and bands. And we're going to do that again this morning. Before we get going, though, we will say thank you to Mr. Mike Nolan, the general manager of the Blue Note and Rose Music Hall. He was here last week, and we had a real fun talk and played some great tunes. And Mike and the gang doing great stuff down there at the Blue Note, have been for some time, and they're going to keep it going. 2019 is going to be a great year for music here in Columbia. Looks like ugly sort of winter day out there. We'll have to see what it brings. Weather looks a little sketchy, but we'll do the best we can with it. Got a good show planned this morning, though. We're going to talk with some friends here, play some good music, and that's what we do here every Friday morning on Open Mic Radio. We'll also do a rundown of some of the things that are happening around town tonight and tomorrow. If you're in the area, swing by. Doors are open, 915 East Broadway. And, this morning my guests in the studio with me are Tom O'Connor and Travis Huff from Columbia's own Mobile Funk Unit. MFU's in the house, that's right. And we're going to play some music from them. And actually, we got some earlier stuff from a band called Spankin' Rufus that was recorded. I'm not sure when. Let me say hi first to Tom and Travis. Hey, guys.
Hello, Mike. Thank you for having us here. It is a joy, an honor, and 2/3 of a privilege to talk to you on the show.
2/3. I get the other third over here. Hi, Travis.
Hey, Mike. Thanks a lot for having us.
Hey, I appreciate you guys coming down. Let's talk a little bit about the Mobile Funk Unit and what it is and where it came from. Are you guys local guys originally?
Oh, yeah. We went to high school together in the 80s in the Reagan administration, and been together ever since musically.
Yeah, played in John Patterson's high school marching band together and concert band. Made good friends in music starting then. And
where was that? Was that Rockbridge or is that Hickman?
Hickman, yeah.
At Hickman. Was Rockbridge even around then?
Yeah, it was the posh school. They had air conditioning, and a planetarium, and all this posh kid.
Oh, hold on. I've got to take a quick moment to say hello to our local waste management folks here in the alley. They come by every Friday about this time, so hopefully they're listening. Good morning, gentlemen and gentlewomen, whoever's in there running the trash compactor. All right, back to the Mobile Funk Unit. So music in your lives from way back. Were you guys involved in music as children, or were your families involved in any of that
Pretty
stuff?
much. They come through schools in the 4th grade, and they kind of steer you into an instrument, and bang, you're in band, and then music is there. You're toting your instrument around, and your parents hope you played a flute or a clarinet instead of a cello or a tuba, and a lot of toting that around and seeing if you could ride your bike with it and that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden you're in the parking lot of Hickman High School, and you see a sign that says Hendrix on it with an X, and you think, oh, I'm kind of vaguely aware of that Hendrix thing. What's that? And then you can't just Google it. You got to figure it out the hard way, and then you're hooked.
Yeah, long before the days of Google, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're going to sound like old guys in this interview really fast.
We all are, actually. So I guess we'll just kind of have to show our true colors this morning. So.
That's all right. The story's longer.
That's right, and better, I think.
Yeah, it's juicy.
Yeah. The background, before Spotify and before all the streaming services and all that, where you actually had to have the music on your actual person, actually own it or listen to it on a radio or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those days seem to be kind of behind us now.
A few years ago, Tom actually gave me his LP collection because he had it all on a drive, I guess. So
is that right?
So I still have his albums and my own. Yeah, I still spin vinyl from time to time.
Well, at least you got it on a drive. I think a lot of the young people don't even have any of their own collection anymore.
Yeah.
They may have an online collection, but somebody else owns that, and if they decide to shut it off, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why people would allow their world to be overtaken that way. It's because, especially now, storage is so cheap.
Right.
We're talking about terabytes.
Yeah, for very little. I agree. I sort of appreciate the streaming service. It's cool. It's real handy and all that. But it also, it kind of gets you hooked again more on the being online. You've got to have access to the internet. If you don't have access to the internet, you're not going to be able to listen to your music. And that's a nightmare scenario, if you lose your web connection or whatever.
Yeah.
For me, I need my music.
You got to be master of your own domain.
You know it, my friend. All right, so one of your earlier bands was called Spankin' Rufus, and that band was around from the late 80s to the mid 90s, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the first song that we played, and we'll play a couple more off this record, came from your first record that was actually an album of the same name called Spankin' Rufus. We heard a tune called The Spankin' Fields to start things off, and we'll hear a couple more from this along the way. But so tell us a little bit about Spankin' Rufus and how that eventually evolved into what you guys do now.
You want to take that one, Travis?
I'll start. You jump in.
Okay.
We, about probably mid-college or so, decided we wanted to try to do something in town. And Jerry Wagner, also a high school friend of ours, he actually went to the Enemy, went to Rockbridge.
Grade school friend of mine. I know Wagner since Grant School. Third grade.
Yeah. But he's awesome and a great saxophone player. So we pulled him in, and we found a really great young drummer from St. Louis, Jerry Blaze. Mm-hmm. And his good friend from St. Louis, Jeff Kuhn, joined us. So the five of us, did I name all five? You and me, and so the five of us got things going, wrote a few tunes, played some funk covers, and started playing like at the Basement, Shattered. Where else did we play? We kind of cut our teeth at Park Place, which is now Rose Music Hall.
Yeah. I remember Shattered too. That was down there, and it became the Cherry Street Artisan at some point. Is that right? Same place, right?
Yeah.
Now it's the craft beer cellar. It's a neat space down there. Yeah. All right, and go on, continue.
Well, it's a long story. But that's kind of how it got started, and it kind of morphed in different ways. Different band members came in and left and came back. We had Mark. What was Mark's last name?
Mark Maher.
Mark Maher, a fantastic trumpet player, played with us for a while. We pulled in Jerry Diza, who became the band lead singer, and also another phenomenal trumpet player in his own right. But it kind of settled into, over the years, the six of us. Jeff Kuhn actually left, and we got a young snapper, Dave Schultz, who was a funk meister. He had the fattest thumb in the business.
Playing
bass. So the six of us kind of settled in, and that's when we started to record and tour full time.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at some of your old tour dates here. Let me run through a couple of these if you don't mind.
Yeah.
All right, we've got looks like this was August of 1994, perhaps. I don't know. Regardless, Deep Blues in Columbia, Missouri. The Capitol Club in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, don't even remember that.
Buffalo Alice in Sioux City.
Remember that well.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We had George's Majestic Lounge in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The Full Moon Cafe. That sounds like a cool place in Tulsa. Damn, you guys were all over the place. Liberty Drug. Now that's my kind of place. Norman, Oklahoma. I didn't even know you could get drugs in Oklahoma. The Bottleneck in Lawrence, Kansas.
Oh yeah, the Bottleneck.
So you recall some of these places?
Oh yeah,
Bottleneck is like the Blue Note of Lawrence, Kansas.
Is that right?
That was the place there.
Yeah. What's Lawrence? That's K-State, or is that
KU?
University of Kansas there.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Blue Note, Columbia, Missouri, August 26th.
Was that the time that I grilled cheese sandwiches?
There was one time Travis had this grill on stage, and he was just making grilled cheese sandwiches during the show and kind of handing them out to people at the front of the stage. And
that's a way to get a crowd.
Yeah. I remember Jerry, the drummer, said something like, he said, "I'm just saying this as a point of reference, not advocating any behavior, but in the history of the Blue Note, no one has successfully thrown a grilled cheese sandwich from the stage into the balcony."
You need one of those balloon launchers like they use at the basketball games now or something.
The place smelled great.
Well, damn. All right. Yeah. So you guys were all over the place and doing quite a bit. When did the band actually kind of get together to begin with? Did you say
88, I guess?
Yeah, 87, 88.
Summer, fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a good 9-10 years the band was together.
Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the heyday of Chump Change and the street band, and we'd be going to different clubs, and there'd be a lot of live music going on, and we were like youngsters just soaking it up. And Travis was, he was good enough to be playing with all those teams. He was playing.
Well, tip of the hat to the guys from Chump Change, right? They lost one of their members recently, and this guy was a staple around town here.
Babe?
Babe. Babe is a huge loss for Columbia music. He was so great and
so authentic.
Oh man, he was one of the best out there. And I had the honor to play with Glenn Ward, Bummer, the drummer of the Kansas City Street Band, and I learned a lot from him, and I learned a lot from another young saxophone player, Jeff Watkins. Jeff played with Bummer for a couple of years and went on to play with and be the band leader for James Brown for 13 years. Yeah, he moved to Miami and met up with James Brown Band, and he still plays to this day out of New Orleans with the New Orleans Suspects. But anyway, it was great to play with those guys. To be able to play with a guy like Jeff and Bummer and Babe and those guys are just phenomenal musicians. You just can't do anything but learn good things from those guys.
I say it every week, but we've got such a talent pool around this part of the country, and I think that many people that aren't from around here probably don't know it, but there's a tremendous little music scene going on here. In
well, you know, and you
people.
haven't introduced Tony yet, but Tony played with Bummer, and I've played with Tony in different acts and different setups, and you know, Tony in his own right's a hell of a musician.
You're not kidding, and we'll take a minute here to say hello to Tony Lotven in the studio with us as well this morning. Tony dropped in because, and this is a good time to mention the show tonight, but first we'll say hi to Tony. Hi.
Good morning.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
What are you familiar with any of the guys that they've been talking about? I'm pretty sure you know Tom and Travis, but you're familiar with some of these older names?
Well, I just met Tom. I haven't really known Tom.
Okay.
That's unbelievable.
I know. It's just, you can't know everybody.
I just met Mike recently.
We've been hanging around the same gang for
Everybody
years.
says, you don't know Mike? I got to meet this Mike guy.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Yeah, Travis played with me in the Dynamics, which was a band through the 90s until about 2003.
Really?
And we had originally it was a big band, 9-piece band, 4-piece horn section, and we had a trombone player, John Groan, the original trombone player, who suffered from a debilitating disease later on and passed away. And Travis was one of the people that stepped up and played with us after that in the horn section.
All right. Incredible. All right, so it's a family affair here pretty much. We got a bunch of folks around town, and everybody is... It's one of the things that makes the music scene so great, is that there's so much collaboration and so much really camaraderie in the scene overall. I see it all the time, and I'm even seeing it now in the younger bands that are coming up now. You know, Hickman has an organization they call the Hickman Academy of Rock, and there are 3 or 4 bands I could name, that are coming up, 16, 17, 15-year-old kids, and they're just making great music already, and I love it. So, Tony, you're familiar?
Absolutely. My son was actually Phil Overeem, who taught over there.
Sure.
Really got that going, and the guys that are running that now are all friends of my son. They all hung out in my garage out in the country when they were younger, pre-teens and teens in high school, and we had garage bands going constantly, and now they're running the shows.
Yeah. Well, they're
putting in the studios. It's pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, they're doing a hell of a job. So hats off to all of the local people in the local musicians that are in the scene. You guys and girls are all part of a really cool thing. That includes you guys, obviously. So
the Academy of Rock, that would have been good times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're connected to another thing they call Darkroom Records, right?
Well, that grew out of the Academy of Rock.
Right.
Because I got the opportunity and some money to put studios in. Of course, things changed over the years, too, in terms of the availability of digital workstations. So
Right. All right, so anyway, let's talk a little bit about tonight. At the Blue Note, we've got the Funk Fest, right? It looks like tonight. Yeah,
the second annual, I believe.
The second annual, and this is part of the MoFest 2019 that the Blue Note and Rose have been sponsoring. This is the third and final weekend. If you remember, if you were listening to the show last week, we had Mike Nolan on from the Blue Note, and we talked about MoFest, and this is the second year that they've done it. But just a 3-week sort of blowout with all kinds of great music from all kinds of different angles, different genres. And tonight and tomorrow, we're going to kind of wrap that up. So we have the Missouri Funk Fest tonight at the Blue Note, and that's going to include both Travis and Tom here and their gang, the Mobile Funk Unit, and then the Fried Crawdaddies with Tony and his gang are going to be playing there as well. Right, Tony?
that's correct.
All right. You guys looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Very much so.
That's going to be a fun night. And let's see, we also have the Funky Butt Brass Band. I guess they must be
From St. Louis.
Are they from St. Louis?
Yeah, they're a good act. They come to town quite often to play, and they're totally worthy. They're a lot of fun. All 3 acts are going to be really fun.
All right, well, cool. You got
I think it kicks off at what you guys start playing at
8:30.
8:30.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's the Crawdaddies at 8:30, and then we go on 9:45, and then Funky Butt finishes it up.
All right, right on. Okay, so it looks like doors at 7:30, show about 8:30. The Fried Crawdaddies, the Mobile Funk Unit, and the Funky Butt Brass Band. Catch that one tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's take a minute to play some music here, since that's what we do. And I'm going to play another one from Spankin' Rufus. This is one that actually got a little bit of fanfare. It was called Jane, Stop the Crazy Thing, or Stop This Crazy Thing. Can you tell us a little bit about that song?
Well, the name came from the Jetsons, in the beginning of the Jetsons, where he's running on that treadmill.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of the first part of the whole thing. And I just had these.
The thing I love about the song was the walking bass. Jeff Kuhn put this walking bass line together on it that is just so fluid. The lyrics are really cool, but I think the bass line makes the song.
All right.
All
right, we're going to find out. Once again, this is Jane, Stop This Crazy Thing. It's Spankin' Rufus. You're listening to it here on Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. I've got the guys, or a couple of the guys from Mobile Funk Unit here in the house with me, and also Tony Lotven from the Cried Crawdaddies. How about that? the fried Crawdaddies. We'll be back with these guys in just a few minutes. In the meantime, once again, Spankin' Rufus. All right, there's another one from Spankin' Rufus. It's a great song. That one's called Jane, Stop This Crazy Thing. Awesome stuff, you guys.
Thank you.
When's the band getting back together?
As soon as our $4 million Kickstarter campaign gets to its goal.
All right. We're not going to hold our breath for that one, but we'd love to see it.
We tried it last year. Our lead singer's in Miami, and our drummer's in south of Seattle. So, you know, it's hard to get him back here.
That's tough. All right. Okay, well, we had to ask. All right. So, all right, great stuff there from Spankin' Rufus, and we've got sort of the most recent incarnation of some of the guys from Spankin' Rufus. The band is called the Mobile Funk Unit. They will be playing tonight at the Missouri
Blue Note.
At the Blue Note, I guess, for the Missouri Funk Fest. It's the second annual, and they'll be playing with Fried Crawdaddies and the Funky Butt Brass Band. That's tonight. Doors at 7:30, and music starting around 8:30 or so. Tony, you got anything special? What do the Crawdaddies got planned for tonight?
Well, we put together a set of funk. I mean, we're not a genre band. We play whatever we want to play.
Yeah.
And so we pulled some things out that we've done before and actually went back to the originals and spiced them up. So we've got a couple of meters, Neville Brothers tunes and a little New Orleans funk.
Awesome.
We've got a song called Traveling Man by Albert King off his You Want to Get Funky album from the 70s.
Nice.
And we've done that before. We just jammed it. We actually learned it this time. And then a couple of Stevie Wonder songs.
Nice.
And I've got a funk song that I wrote that we've been playing at First Friday the last few months. And so we're going to close the set out with that. It's called New Day Is Coming.
Yeah, I think you and I played that when you were here with me.
The demo I did in the studio on that one.
I remember it.
And then let's see what else we got. Trying to remember what else is that.
I'm hoping that you're not playing Maceo Parker's Southwick.
No, we're
Good.
not. We're not.
Because we are.
You know, we figured everybody else was going to do a lot of horn to instrumentals, so we've got all vocals. We're doing an average white band tune. We're doing Work to Do.
Oh,
we
right
worked
on.
up Work to Do. And
what's the makeup of your band tonight?
It's a regular 6-piece. Myself and John DiAgostino on keys and vocals, and Alan Lashbaugh on bass, and Jimmy Culbertson on drums, and Pete Skolka and Sean Hennessy both on guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for MFU, what's the makeup of the band tonight for you guys?
The MFU can be somewhere between 7 and 12 band members. I keep recruiting, and people are a lot of interest in wanting to do some projects with us. So tonight, I think we've got 11 of us, 10 or 11 of us.
Incredible.
So,
all right.
I won't go through the whole list, but Tom and I, Jerry Wagner's in the band from Spank and Rufus. Mike Gill on sousaphone, hard worker there.
The sousaphone.
Yeah. And,
gotta love it.
A few
Dr. Sousaphone.
A couple guys that I played an oversight committee with. Oversight
Jeff Mueller and
Jeff Mueller just moved to New York.
Yeah, he's making big bass guitars now.
Yeah, so he and Ruth are gone, and so we're going to miss playing oversight committee music for
That's
a while.
shame. They're both remarkable people and super talented. Jeff's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
And Ruth is just remarkable too.
I can only hope that he'll hone his skills and bring them back here to Columbia.
I have a feeling, Ruth's involved in a lot of stuff here as well. She is she performs on her own as a harpist, and Jeff accompanies her a lot doing that, but she's also the front woman for a band called the Royal Furs, which is real popular around here, and they're gonna miss Ruth for sure. I'm not sure if the Furs are gonna revamp and get a new singer, or if they're gonna try to work things out with Ruth while she's on the road, but we'll see.
Yeah. So anyway, Bob Haig is another alto sax player that plays for MFU, and Bob and Jeff and Brian King, a percussionist in town, phenomenal player. They wrote a song called "Strictly Rockers," and that's an original funk tune that we're going to be, I think, wrapping our show up with tonight. So,
all right, cool.
Yeah,
but we won't be mobile tonight, so that's kind of our superpower is our mobility.
Exactly. we keep getting roped into these gigs where we have to stand still. So,
well, people may be familiar with you. They may have seen you marching around during the Roots and Blues Festival this last year, and maybe you could talk a little bit about that experience. That was a blast. I had a great time, and I saw you guys down there, and a lot of other great stuff as well.
Yeah, never stop moving was what I learned from the Roots and Blues thing, because it's like you're always brand new, and you come across the most excited people, and just all of a sudden, we're just standing there, and all of a sudden these 9 dudes with 4 saxophones and 3 brass instruments came through playing some funk. And
well, the beauty of it too is it's kind of like a takeover, because you've got a band on stage like the Crawdaddies or somebody that's already got a crowd of 1,000 or more, and you get to just kind of walk in, and they're not really our crowd, but they become our crowd.
Right, just grab a chunk of whoever's there, right?
Like a pirate ship of funk.
Well, what's the dynamic of doing that while you're moving? I mean, there are some electrified instruments. How do you do that?
Well, I built a fully mobile guitar rig, and one of the miracles of modern technology is these Class D power amps, which don't take too much power, and they're the size of a deck of cards, and they're whumping. So I took a couple of 6.5-inch guitar speakers and made a little belt, and just belted them on and bolted them to this belt. So I got a pair of those, and then one of these little amps, and then I got this lithium battery that goes for days, and a little guitar preamp kind of tone thing that sounds quite decent, and then a hat with a solar panel on it.
There you go. Don't forget about the hat.
That's right. That's what tops it all off, no pun intended. So you're actually a solar-powered guitar action walking around with the MFU.
Yeah.
It really makes it sounds really cool.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And there's a little percussion as well, along with the with the horns.
Usually 2 or 3 percussionists are with us. We try to recruit as many cowbell and tambourine players as well. David Heisey and his wife comes and plays cowbell with us quite often. She's a good
You never have enough cowbell,
well.
right?
You can't.
Especially in funk.
That's right. That's right. As long as you know where to put it. But yeah, the mobile funk unit was a concept of mine that so back up for years when I lived in Portland, Oregon, and I saw this band called the Supersonic Soul Pimps
cool.
at a show. They were doing a 2-set show. In between sets, we were just kind of hanging around waiting for the next show to begin.
Right.
And this band just kind of showed up out of nowhere, this mobile band. And this was 20 years ago when I saw this, and I was like, I'm going to build a band like that someday.
Nice.
And finally it started last year. Yeah. And
incredible.
Our first gig was at the True False parade last year. We're going to get in on that again this year.
Awesome.
And that's where we really shine, when we're mobile and we can move, and it's just it's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, look, we're going to take another break here. I'm going to play one from the Crawdaddies, I think, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more. We've got about 30 minutes to go in the program here. It's Mike. You're listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia. My guests are Travis Huff, Tom O'Connor, Tony Lotven, and we're having a good conversation, a lot of fun this morning. And there's going to be some great music happening tonight down at the Blue Note. You've got the Missouri Funk Fest happening, doors at 7:30. Music starting at about 8 o'clock with the Crawdaddies, and you got the mobile funk unit happening after that. And wrapping things up tonight will be the Funky Butt Brass Band. So check that out if you're into the funk. It's going to be a good time. And in the meantime, we'll hear one from the Crawdaddies here. This one is called, I don't know if it's funky or not, but I like it anyway. This one's called Gotta Tell Somebody.
Tell somebody how good I feel tonight. I gotta tell somebody I'm finally feeling right. I gotta tell somebody how I learned to dance. I gotta tell somebody I'm feeling good at last. I gotta rock and roll to the show. I wanna find some sweet things I can hold. I gotta tell somebody before my love explodes. Somebody how good I feel tonight. I gotta tell somebody I'm finally feeling right. I gotta tell somebody how I learned to dance. I gotta tell somebody I'm feeling good at last. I wanna rock and roll to the show. Yeah, come on, pretty baby, let's go, go, go. I gotta tell somebody before my love explodes. Feel good, feel good, feel good, yeah, feel good, oh, feel good, oh, feel good, feel good, feel good, 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 good. I feel good, 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 I feel good, 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 I feel good, 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 good. Oh, yeah. good I feel tonight. Gotta tell somebody, for too long I've been quiet. Oh, gotta tell somebody how I shook my blues. Gotta tell somebody that might as well be you. I wanna rock and roll, do the stroll, so come on, pretty baby, let's go, go, go. I gotta tell somebody, I gotta let them know. I feel good, feel good, yeah, I feel good. Oh, I feel good, ooh, I feel good, feel good, feel good, 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 good. I feel good, 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 I feel good, 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 I feel good, good, feel good, feel good, good, good. Baby, I feel good, oh, feel good, yeah, feel good, feel good, feel good, 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 good. Baby, I feel good, 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 feel good, feel good, feel good, 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 good. Yeah, good, good, good. Yeah, good, good, good. Oh, good, 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 good.
Alrighty, there you go. There's one from the Fried Crawdaddies. You can catch them tonight, along with the Mobile Funk Unit and the Big Dirty Brass Butt Band, or whatever they are. I don't have it in front of me, but it's going to be great funky music tonight at the Blue Note. And yeah, it's about 9:35 this morning on Open Mic Radio. You know, I'm talking to Tom O'Connor and Travis Huff from MFU, and also Tony Lotven from the Crawdaddies. But I'm looking at an old... I can't believe you guys did this. It's called the Rufus News and World Report. It's like a newsletter that you did a whole series of them. It looks like there was one that came out every month for a while, and the stories about the band and a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, that's what you had to do back in the day. We didn't have Twitter, we didn't have websites, we didn't even have email, really. You know, when we started touring around 1990, very few, if anybody, had an email address at all.
Right.
So, yeah, it was all mailing lists and 29-cent stamps.
Like real mailing lists.
And going to Kinko's and cutting and pasting and writing dumb little stories that we'd make up. And,
well, this is incredible.
Sending out our schedule.
Let me give my listeners an example of some of the stuff here in the Rufus News and World Report. This is from May and June of 1993. Among other things, there are a couple articles here. There's the Rufus Review, talking about the Bottling of Wines of Life tour. But here's an interesting story. It's called Bachwashes, the headline. And I'll just read a clip here. Spankin' Rufus visits the Shiner Bach Brewery, and the drummer drains the storage vat. That's the headline. And so it's sort of a combination of music news and Mad Magazine or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, that's amazing. Yeah, you had to be creative back then. Like you say, we really didn't have anything like today, social media and the ability to send music and data and information just across the world at the push of a button. It's crazy, you know.
And it was a crowded field back then, and now I can imagine it's even more crowded. I mean, it's easier to get on social media and broadcast your stuff, but that means that more people are doing it, and it just becomes such a noisy place out there. Oh,
I mean, to the point where there's so much going on that you really can't even know other than a certain section of it, I think, almost. There are some people, I guess, that are very sort of savant-like and just have a grasp of, you know, a lot of different things. Kevin Walsh is a lot like that. I don't know if you know Kevin. I'm sure you do, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
He's been doing radio here for years, and he's been involved in the music scene for a long time. He knows... It's remarkable what the guy knows about music. He's my go-to guy. If I got a question, I'll ask Kevin. But really, like you say, Tom, there's so much now, and it's just a balkanization of music. You know, it's just splintered, and there's so much going on. So I guess you got to know what you like.
Yeah. Yep. So we didn't have to. We just had to do our little thing 20 years ago. Make up little stories and get a bulk mail permit.
It's easy to make up. Tom's a really gifted writer, but he had some great fodder to write about, because when you got 6 guys living in a school bus, literally living out of a school bus.
Really true?
Oh yeah,
pretty close. Yeah,
yeah. We bought a school bus and gutted it and turned it into an apartment. Basically, it was a mobile apartment. Yeah,
that's incredible. Did you have a place that you normally would keep it? Would you park it? Did you have like a...
That's a good question.
My landlord was
driving 24 hours a day. You never stopped.
When we came to Columbia to get a little rest and do some laundry, we used to park it. My landlord, it was at my apartment, and my landlord was not happy. And then when I moved out, I think we parked it in front of Tom's house or your parents' house for a while. Mm-hmm. It was an eyesore.
It was, it's why it's important that a funk rock and roll band keep moving, like the mobile funk unit. You wear out your welcome if you stay too long. So we would move the bus around like an MX missile to make it.
They were always looking for you.
It was before Febreze too, so it really smelled great.
Oh yeah,
we would literally leave it on the street, like between people's homes, and just kind of, it would just be there, and nobody within blocks would know what the hell it was about.
It's a whole nother definition of the word funk,
and it was pretty conspicuous because we painted it up red and Rastafarian colors and all that.
Nice. Had all kinds of different smells coming out of the bus.
Yeah.
Right? Got to cover up the funk. All right. Hey, I would like to ask you guys a favor. I have been having my guests, if they are kind enough, to read a PSA for me on the air for the last few weeks, and there's a couple of them. We'll have Travis start. They're nothing fancy. You can read it any way you like. You can use any voice or just do it straight away the way you normally would. But you can do it any way you like. But it kind of makes it fun for me, and I don't have to do it, and you guys can have fun with them. So, all right, here you go, Travis. All you.
Okay. Como Shorts presents its inaugural Mid-Missouri Filmmakers Showcase Friday, January 25th through Sunday, January 27th at the Fretboard Coffee in downtown Columbia. The showcase provides a unique space for 8 local filmmakers to screen their most promising short films. The Friday and Saturday screenings will start at 6:30 p.m., and the Sunday screenings will start at 1:30 p.m. Live music will precede each showcase. Tickets for Como Shorts are available online or at the door. For more information, visit comoshorts.com.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
How about you, Thomas?
Emergency need for blood.
Blood.
Sunday, January... Oh, I don't read that part. Because of the heavy snows and canceled drives, the American Red Cross has an emergency need for blood. Newman Center's Winter Blood Drive is Sunday, January 27th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. up in the multi-purpose room. All who are healthy and able are invited to stop by and donate blood. Newman is located at 602 Turner Avenue with free Sunday parking in the Turner Garage across the street.
All righty, there you go. Thank you, gentlemen.
I think I lost some blood out there shoveling some snow this week.
Mm-hmm. Tony needs some blood, too. You can just come down into the station and you can give it to him. We'll figure out a way. Somebody here's got a syringe. Oh, better not say that. Okay, I'm digressing here. So I would like to run through a couple of things that are happening this weekend at some of the other venues like we do. We know tonight we have the Missouri Funk Fest at the Blue Note. And you guys are welcome to chime in because a lot of times I run across music that I don't know about, and maybe you guys will know something about the bands that I'm going to mention. So we talked about the Funk Fest. That's tonight at the Blue Note. Doors 7:30, show at 8:30. Tomorrow night at the Blue Note, the MoFest continues. We have the Missouri Country Fest tomorrow night. We have a couple of bands, Murphy's Ford, Porter Union, Hallie Kearns, and Dirt Road Addiction. I got to say, I love the name Dirt Road Addiction. That's my new favorite country band. Unless they really suck, I'm going to check them out. All right, great name. I like that. Then you got the Chiefs are going to be playing football on Sunday. Big game, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it looks like the Blue Note is having a special thing going on Sunday as well. They're going to have the AFC Championship game there. Sort of a Chiefs watch party. It looks like that's going to be happening Sunday evening, and the doors are at 5 o'clock. I think the game's maybe 6:30 or something like that. Does that sound right? All right, cool. That's going to be great. Great weekend. Rose Music Hall. There is the Missouri Emo Fest is happening as well tonight. So if you're into the emotional young stuff, you can check that out. There's a bunch of young bands actually that are playing tonight at Rose. Young Medicine, Mock Love, The Astounds, The Adaptation, and Wasting Daylight. A number of those bands come out of that Hickman Academy of Rock that I was mentioning.
Cool.
So that's tonight tonight at Rose. Tomorrow night, we have the Missouri Reggae Fest. That'll be a lot of fun, too. Crate to Crate Sound, the Driftways, Tree 14, and Aaron Cam and the One Drops. Going to be a great night of music tomorrow night at Rose and at the Blue Note. Let's see. How about the Roachport General Store? If you're out west tonight, Threshers Union. Familiar? Anybody?
No.
The Threshers Union. I'm not sure I've ever heard of them before. At any rate, they'll be playing tonight at the Roachport General Store. And let's see if we have anything at Berlin. Cafe Berlin tonight. Cowgirl Geordie, Witch Kicker, Cecil, and the Bird Watchers. Now, it's not Cecil and the Bird Watchers. It's two different bands. So, okay. Yeah. Although they might consider getting together. Who knows, you know?
That's a merger that's meant to be.
It sounds like it, doesn't it? Anyway. All right. So that's sort of the stuff that's obvious that's happening tonight and tomorrow. And certainly on my radar is the Missouri Funk Fest happening tonight at Rose Music Hall. Once again, my guests in the studio are a couple of guys from the Mobile Funk Unit, and we've got Tony Lotven here from the Fried Crawdaddies as well. Really fun. I'm glad you guys came down this morning.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
What else we got coming up? I was going to ask about songwriting. You said that Tom does a lot of the writing?
Mobile Funk Unit, no. Tom did at least 50% of Rufus's tunes and a lot of great lyric writing. Mm-hmm. And I did quite a bit of the Rufus writing as well. Mobile Funk Unit does mostly covers at this point, although I'm cooking up a couple of things. Mm-hmm. Mobile Funk Unit's I'm trying to turn some newer generation songs into more of a horn band type sound. There's a Sia tune that I'm charting right now for Mobile Funk Unit.
Huh, cool.
As well as there's an album out there by St. Vincent and David Byrne.
I love David Byrne.
Those guys are great. And St. Vincent, she's amazing. They wrote a song together that's pretty horn heavy that I've charted for the band.
All right. Well, look, I want to get at least one more song in before the end of the program. So the song called Blitzkrieg Lover, I just love the name of it. So I haven't heard it, but we're going to hear one more from Spankin' Rufus. Then we'll come back. We'll have about 5 or 6, 7 minutes, and we can wrap things up with these guys. We'll hear one more from the old record on the way out, and then we'll come to the 10 o'clock hour where we'll have Miss Diana Moxon will be on the radio with Speaking of the Arts. And Diana is sitting here in the corner, been observing and listening and laughing to the whole program here. She is the partner, spouse of Tom O'Connor. I'm not sure how, I don't want to say you're his wife or she'll whack me or something, I have a feeling. But anyway, Diana Moxon and Tom O'Connor have been a power couple around here in Columbia for quite some time, and they're both awesome people. And Diana does this great program called Speaking of the Arts, which is on at 10 o'clock, and so you can stick around for that program as well, okay? All right, it's Mike. You're listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia, and this is a song called Blitzkrieg Lover. I love it. Back in a few minutes.
wheels in motion. I got my toys, I got my lotion. Hear me coming, girls beware. Your V2 Schneider is in the air. Strike, nobody knows. Deliver faster than dominoes. Libby the torpedo, here at last. I couple with a rubber when I move this fast. And fly away. Deliver my goods another day. Later, baby, just can't stop. You blitzkrieg lovers got some bombs to drop.
Say, baby, you looking so fine tonight in that tight little skirt you're wearing, shaking your booty around like that. Baby, you are about to drive me crazy. What do you say we go back to my crib a little bit later on tonight and do a little bit of that blitzkrieg loving? Baby, we can do it all night. And let me tell you what, you know that I will do it right. Honey, I may perpetrate your mother. Baby, you know I may even take it to your father. That's right. Honey, you will never ever love another the way you're gonna love the blitzkrieg lover.
Oh yeah, Blitzkrieg Lover. You're listening to it here. Spankin' Rufus on Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. Timeless stuff. I love it.
I haven't heard it, and literally, I think it's been 20 years since I've heard that.
I'm not kidding you guys. That's a great record. Yeah, really excellent stuff. All right, so Tom O'Connor, Travis Huff, and we got Tony Lotven here. I would like to take a few minutes to talk about what you guys do when you're not playing music. Tom, you have a very interesting sort of profession. Maybe you could tell people a little bit about what you do.
I am really into solar panels and renewable energy and helping people get solar panels on roofs, and I just did a large commercial job, the biggest one we've ever done, and we have kind of a humble little group. It's basically me and two other guys that are just really into solar, and one guy has a lot of experience on roofs and that sort of thing. And he
must be John Hooker you're talking
John
about?
Hooker, yeah. And he is worth his weight in gold and then some platinum on the side. He is just so knowledgeable and great with everything he touches.
What do you call your gang?
Historically, I'd called it H2OC engineering when I was doing more consulting work in drinking water and water quality and treatment. And then I got more interested in renewable energy. Never really changed the name of the company, so I haven't done any kind of like slick marketing or branding. But basically, projects have been coming in at about the right pace. So I haven't really had a chance to have a slick solar specific logo and the corporate look, but it's been just rolling along.
It'll be flashy when he comes up with something.
Flashy, get it? Hey, there you go. May I ask you just a general question about solar energy and the technology that you're using these days? What's the level of the technology as far as advancement? Everything, it seems like in the last 20 years has gone ballistic with regard to technology. Has the same thing happened with solar?
Everybody thinks that it's going to be leaps and bounds, but it's kind of a gradual. It's been established for really quite a long time.
Sure.
I mean, we've got the Viking spaceships have been out there since the 70s with solar panels on them. But the panels do get better slowly. Overall, the electronics, actually, the inverters converting it from DC to AC, have gotten a lot better and cheaper. So it's been established for a long time. Prices have, yes, come down, but the technology has been solid for a decade or more. Okay. So there's lots of good options for getting solar systems up and cheap, and that has huge implications for the global
situation.
Energy, money, power structure.
Yeah.
It's like the democratization of energy.
Yeah.
So people can produce their own. It's
own.
like a local music, local anything, local food. It's local energy. So I guess my love for all these things local. It's like having your own local drive with your music on it rather than the cloud.
That's right.
So right now, energy is in the cloud, and we don't know where it comes from. And it's like, oh, well, we could have our own energy that we make ourselves.
I would love it.
Or trade with our neighbors and that sort of thing. So the localization and democratization of energy is what I work in.
Very cool. Very cool. I love it. All right, and Travis, you're an audiophile of sorts. You know a lot about audio equipment, and you're in that business?
Yeah, I call myself more of an audio enthusiast than an audiophile. But having a huge passion for music, I found the industry of audio probably, 16 or 17 years ago. Maybe not quite that much. I opened a store in Columbia called Pure Audio with my good friend Sam Jones, and we did a lot of system design, low voltage wiring in homes, but a lot of 2-channel and surround sound and so forth.
Real high-end stuff. Yeah,
we liked to do high-end, but, in practical terms, everyone's got a budget to work it within. So a lot of mid-fi, but just, with the passion for music, it was a way for me to still stay close to listening and, and so forth. So
who are the go-to guys in Columbia for sort of high-end home audio? Is it D&M? Are there still those guys?
Yeah, well, D&M has been around since, I used to walk into D&M and after school in high school.
I used to love to go in that store, yeah,
they're doing really well. I sold Pure Audio to Judd LaFrenz 6 years ago, and he's running it now, running a really good operation. So I would say Pure Audio and D&M are the go-tos in Columbia. I was hired by a international manufacturer that NAD Electronics. They've been around for about 47 years, and PSB speakers, Paul Barton Design speakers. And so I'm a regional sales guy now. I do a lot of traveling and do a lot of training and a lot of music listening. So it's fun.
Awesome.
I enjoy it.
All right. Well, that is going to about wrap it up for us, you guys. We got about 5 minutes left. I'm going to play one more song from Spank and Rufus on the way out, but thanks for coming down. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
It has been a thrill. It's been really fun to stampede down memory lane.
Let's do another hour. I want to.
Well, I don't think Diana will care. We'll just tell her she can make it up next week. Or something
hijack
like that.
her show.
That's right.
Just give her a mic and get her in the mix. Yeah. But thank you, Mike.
Thank you again, both of you guys. And Tony, thank you as well.
Thank you.
And everybody out there, appreciate you guys listening. And come on back next week. I'll have local country and western band called the Comancheros. And they're rock and rollers as well. So it's going to be a fun show next week. In the meantime, tonight you got great music happening around town, including the Missouri Funk Fest, which happens tonight at the Blue Note. Doors at 7:30. The show starts around 8:30. You'll have the Fried Crawdaddies, MFU, the Mobile Funk Unit, the guys that have been with me this morning, and the Funky Butt Brass Band wrapping things up. And hope you all have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right, take care, everybody. Yeah, it's Mike. You've been listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia. Let's get things out of here with one more from Spank and Rufus. This is called... it's called Be Cool, appropriately.
every day of my life. So much pressure, so much strife. I give so much effort, I get so much pain. Each morning I wonder if I can do it all again. The burdens of existence turn my life into a chore. One day I'm sure I find I just can't do it anymore. I'm just so sick of all this shit. I got a short fuse and it is there. It's what I hear and what I see. They've got a way they want me to be. Every time I look round, another simple freedom lies bleeding on the ground. Mighty Mouse is off the air, making room for a hammerman. To keep from going on a shooting spree takes all the strength I have. State sends out troopers to keep me from doing my best. I just try to live my life, I gotta deal with Jerry West. Don't be shocked if I don't conform, if I can't fit in your uniform. But I'll take your shit and listen to your sass, then I'll drop my pants and you can kiss my ass.
You got to be cool.
'Cause you're the great one.
You got to be cool. You got to be cool.
Under all conditions.
You got to be cool.
You're just wishing.
You got to be cool.
You're on a mission.
You got to be cool. You got to be cool.
If you're wheezing.
You got to be cool.
If you're geezing.
You got to be cool.
Till you ain't breathing.
You got to be cool.
Sometimes they make you play it straight, won't let you act the fool. You gotta keep it serious. You've got to be cool.